Yeah, man. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Baby, no. Check out the scooter, man. Check out this guy on the scooter, man. You see him? Scooter. That's a Razor, dude. Smoking a ciggy too. Fucking mad cunt, man. Getting pretty chilly, lad. It's getting pretty chilly, I tell you what. What a sick scooter. That's like an off-roading scooter, dude. Real men ride whatever the fuck they want to ride, lad. Scooters are extremely feasible in this day and age, okay? Yeah. It's that cold, man. My penis is non-existent at the moment. Shouts to the stream. He's not even right. Yeah, exactly. You got to take a break, bro. It's not about hitting it all the time. Recovery's key. He's recovering. Let's not get into men talk. I hate talking about it. I just don't even like the word man. It's triggering. Yo, man. Yeah, man. So young. Just we back at the fucking mecca of Mexican food, man. Taco Bell's. You know, potential candidate when I break my fast last day of Ramadan, but I'm not gonna be here, so maybe one day, man, eh? Maybe when I get my girlfriend pregnant, I'll come here. Coffee this morning, I'd already had it, bro, before I trained this morning. Yeah, man. That's how you spell it. Yeah. She got angry at me, eh? She didn't see the video. She just saw the pink hat on the counter. She's like, don't ever wear my hat again. What did I train? I trained back, biceps, and side laterals. It was fucking eventful, man. You know what I mean? It was a good workout, dude. Just perfect length. Just perfect length. Like, by the time I hit my last set, I'm like, I'm fucking done, man. You know what I mean? I'm doing my last set of curls, just like I'm done. You know what I mean? I want to go home. Train your brain. It's full-time brain training, man. It's exactly the same workout me and you did, dude. Literally the exact same. Nothing's changed. Is the stream okay? Don't be fucking scaring me. Don't be scaring me, bro. Don't be scaring me, Jess. Why is the stream? You're in Thailand, bro. That's why it's cutting out. Actually, Thailand's got good internet. I don't know. What's 9 plus 10? Don't even ask me those questions, man. Let's get into it, eh? Oh, man. Tom, thoughts on me thinking my stuff isn't good enough to be taken seriously on a real level? Like, there's so much competition in every aspect of life. I just go about my daily corporate gig versus trying. It's the cliche shit, like, you just got to be the best you, man. You know, like, it's cringe. It sounds cringe, but it's true, man. You can't, you know, like, you are the end point, bro. You know, that's the only cunt you compare yourself to. You know what I mean? You just strive to be better. You know? So you're the end point, bro. Don't look beyond that, you know what I mean? You can easily think yourself into a shit fucking hole and you just think cunts are better than you. Just no point, man. Indie Pack documentary when? I've edited 22 minutes of the Indie Pack documentary with no music. With basically no sound, and I'm trying to have the first cut down in the next 9 weeks. So in 9 weeks I might have the first cut down, but that probably won't even have sound. So then I'd probably have to put sound in, and then watch it with cunts, and then recut it, you know, so it's a while away. Cliche for a reason, dog. Yeah, shouts to you, brother. It's true. I mean, some of the most cliche shit, man, is just, that's it, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a real challenge for me to edit this thing, man. It's a challenge because there's multiple storylines. It's really above. It's not about. It's like it's the next biggest challenge for me to edit because there's a lot of challenges that come along with this video that I'm not used to, and that it's next level. It's next level making. You know, like in terms of just a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? It's a bit of a storyline to string together, and especially to keep it interesting. You know. Because it's not that like just if you just watch old daily footage, you wouldn't be that interested, bro. Like there's only so much bike riding you can fucking watch before you're just like, dude, it's another cunt on a bike. Like no one cares. Yeah, dude, I get that feeling all the time, but I make sure I squash that feeling. You know, trust me, bro. Sometimes I sit down and edit and I think like, oh, this isn't good enough I'm not good enough to make a documentary. Like, that's what I say. Sometimes that thought comes into my head, bro. But I just squash it, man. I'm just quick to just say, who gives a fuck? You know, the thing is, bro, even if you doubt it, you still go, man. You still go. You know what I mean? You can't let the doubt overrun it, man. But I've doubted so much shit before, and the key point is, even if you doubt it, dude, it's like you take one more step. And you can be the most, like, doubtful, fucking unconfident fuck, but you just keep walking. You know, and you do that cycle enough, you know the cycle, man. The key point is you just do. Like, you don't just fold your knees to become a victim of, you know, the thought that you're not good enough, and then you just get scared, and then you just don't try. No, I don't need more post-race interview footage at all. Bro, I'm trying to make a documentary that I want to watch. You know, that I want to watch, first and foremost. So I'm making it, like, thinking, like, what would I want to see? Like, what would be interesting for me? What would I look at and be like, this is fucking sick? You know? So, yeah, that's what that's my first and foremost thing when I'm looking at it. But even the interview footage, man, it's like, what do you expect out of an IndyPack interview? Like, you know what I mean? Before the race, it's like, it's hard. It's not hard. It's just everything will fall into place, brother, because it always does. And it'll fall into place, but how do I say it? Like, you just run up to issues with it, man, because some of the issues you run into is like, you have this race that stretches across 5,500 kilometers, right? And no one really talks except in the brief interview before the race. And geographically, it's very hard to determine where these people are. And I don't think, honestly, I don't think it's a big deal that you don't know where these people are. Especially for me, because I don't really give, like, as long, yeah, maybe, you know, I would want to know that they're halfway, or I'd want to know that, you know, you may be halfway or towards the end. I would want to know. But to be constantly updating geographically, I think it's pointless, man, because, like, if you were updating me through Vancouver about, or, you know, you were telling me he's in this town in Vancouver and he's in this town, I wouldn't give a fuck, man, because I'd be like, I don't know where that is. But if you said, oh, he's halfway through, or someone let you know that he was halfway through, then I'd be like, cool, you know. Jordanian food, it's just like most Middle Eastern food, bro. It's just a hybrid. It's just sick. Yeah, bro. I mean, yeah. See, I had to, Sean. It's a learning curve for me, brother. Because usually I try and find the music as I'm making it, but with this one, it's too big to find the music as you're making it. It's too big, man. And it would take too long, man. I'd be spending, 5 hours a day trying to find a song or trying to make some sort of beat up for like 20 seconds worth of footage, So I'm going to go through it and then envision the music and then just chuck in random bits of music that I feel that I would like to put there, and then go back and then put in the actual track. Maybe I got some mates who play instruments. We'll compose some music together, put in the sound, put in the sound that's missing, all this kind of shit, But it's cool, brother. I'm excited, you know what I mean? Because I'm excited, man, because it's cool for me that I can, really it's the dream. This is the kind of shit that you dream of to make when you're, an amateur. I don't want to use an amateur film dude, like an amateur. You want to make a little movie. This is the dream, brother. So these opportunities got to be taken seriously. That's why, I wouldn't even upload a single fucking YouTube. If someone said to me, like, if you had to do the indie pack, not upload a single YouTube video for the next 5 months to make it, I would do it, bro. I don't give a fuck, man. I would do it, man. Because you got to seize the opportunity, brother. So key point is I'm going, man, and I'm preparing to even go harder after Ramadan, because now I spend some decent time on it per day, but then it's just going to get some hectic. It's just going to go full on, man. We're going to go full retard on it. Need motivation. Get rid of that word, bro, and you get back on the bike. Yeah, no matter how long it takes, we're all keen as fuck to see it. Shouts to you, by the way. I'm excited to bring it to you, man. I'm excited to bring it to you. As long as you don't get bored watching it, I'll be happy, man. Last day of Ramadan's next Saturday, I think, or Sunday. Either Saturday or Sunday. But, so... get this, dude. We potentially have someone who's willing, shout outs to him, who's willing to film it. I hit him up saying, let's do it. So he's going to confirm. And then once he confirms, we'll be dropping the truth bombs on the stream about it. And so if he does confirm, what will happen is he'll come to Melbourne. He'll be chilling, and then we'll on the final day of Ramadan, Eid, whatever you want to, where you celebrate. When is Eid? I don't even know when Eid is, you know what I mean? I don't even know the day. But we're gonna go like that night. We'll drive out to Mount Gambier and we'll sleep in Mount Gambier, and then I'll wake up in Mount Gambier, and then we'll drive back towards Victoria, probably 50 k's to Dartmoor, because Dartmoor's the location to start any 24-hour ride from. It's where I started all my 24-hour rides from before. I'm gonna start from there, and we will begin there, man. Typical starting hours, bro. What time does the sun come up? I'll plan to arrive. I'll probably leave 5:30 a.m. Arrive Adelaide 6 a.m. or hopefully past Adelaide at 6 a.m. Motivation is for children, dude. You know what I mean, dude? Motivation, you're a child if you need motivation. I'm not saying you're a child, bro. I'm just saying it's foolish. It's a foolish endeavor to even associate anything with that word, man. You'll be the type of cunt that falls off, then posts a Facebook status saying, watch this space. That's what motivation does to you. You become a watch this space type of cunt, hey, when you just like watch this space, hey. You become a filmmaker for 6 months, or you become a trainee for 6 months. You know what I mean? You just fall off. Are motivation and drive the same thing? I don't think so, man. I think drive's it's like a deep feeling, man. You just have drive. You know what I mean? Motivation's like this, motivation's this quick feeling, dude. You know what I mean? Motivation to me, it's indicative of just like this really quick, fast feeling that just leaves you rapidly. It might stay for 6 months or a year, but it will dissipate just as quick as it comes, man. Falling off is in like, yo, you get motivated for some bizarre reason, that's fate. You get motivated, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym, get mad fucking jacked. And then, 2 months later, the reason that you start, the motivation's not strong enough to keep you there. And if you're just running off motivation, then you have no motivation no more, why would you go? What motivates me? Nothing. Like, if you are going to let anything motivate you, dude, you have to be personally for me, I try and get motivated off stuff that's never going to leave me. You know what I mean? Motivation can definitely start a journey. That's 100% truth. You can get motivated to change. That's 100% how most journeys start, man. You get inspired and you get motivated and you start doing shit, But usually over time, your motivations, they change, man. They change, you know what I mean? And oftentimes you start with this external motivation that lies extremely far outside of yourself. Like for most cunts, this is pretty typical of most cunts, man. Most cunts just want to get jacked because they want to be loved, and at least for me when I started, I was like, yo, like I want to be loved, I want to be popular, I want to be jacked, because that's what happens when you're jacked, okay? And then that's what happened, right? And then I was training, and then 2 years into training, I was like, you know what? I don't really give a fuck about, like, this isn't strong enough to keep me here anymore. Like, these cunts aren't with me when I'm in the gym 7 days a week, going full retard, like just dying with the weights in my hands, like just in pain, So then I found it really hard to train, So then I had to relocate my motivation from outside of myself to inside of myself. And once I did that, I found it very easy to train, bro, because, at the end of the day, I wake up with me and I go to bed with me, and that's always with me. So it was cool then. What's a good reason to do something then? That's a backwards question, man, because it depends on what you're doing. You mean like what's a good reason to train? Motivation's marketable, man, because people do all sorts of crazy shit when they're motivated, man. You know what I mean? People do some crazy shit, man. Think of some of the shit you do when you're motivated. You can be sold some crazy shit when you're motivated, man. Dudes go in and drop like $500 on supplements when they're motivated. You train out of a good reason to train. Why do I train? I train out of respect for life, man. I don't even think about, like, that's as far as I think about it. I don't even think about it anymore, because I just think it's just, like, I'm not going to sit there and deliberate every day, why am I training? But as a rule of thumb, I train for life. Just it, man. I just know how powerful training can be in terms of just being a teacher for life. You know what I mean? It's just training is like, it's just like an appreciation thing. You know what I mean? Because once you appreciate your body and you appreciate life, you realize you want to maximize the opportunity. And to maximize the opportunity, you have to be capable. And to be capable, you need to be fit. You know what I mean? If I want to walk for fucking 15 hours, I can do it. If I want to ride for 24 hours, I can do it. If I want to get up at 2 a.m. on 4 hours sleep for 6 months, I can do it. And training allows you to do that. You know what I mean? So, if I'm going to think about why I'm training, that's why I'm training, man. Just to be capable and make the most of my opportunity. Euphoria of seeing improvement, I guess, yeah. And then a lot of the time, the teacher part of training, I think that's where it comes in, bro. The constant improvement, the constant work, and the constant lessons you get from just doing a repetitive thing for so long, irregardless of the progress you are making or aren't making. Like, you know what I mean? Like, irregardless of if you are making progress or not, like, you learn a lot from training just by being consistent and applying yourself even when times aren't going well. AKA, you train for like 2 years and you make no progress or something. You train for a year and you make fuck all progress, but you still come back year after year and chip away at it. And that's the great thing about training, is like, the more you train, the less progress you make, but you still go back. You know what I mean? It's insane. I'm motivated to lose weight, but then won't start until Monday next week. Yeah, that's not right, eh? Always Monday. Like, what is a Monday, man? What does Monday mean? You know what I mean? Like, it's bizarre how it comes through the whole Monday thing. Do you hate when people claim to know what motivation really is, but they don't know fuck all about training or what they're talking about, as they've never endured shit in the real world? Give me an example, brother. Give me an example. Diet's everything, brother. You have to be eating good, man. And that's diet's often dictated by, lifestyle too. You know what I mean? So it's all relative to the person, brother. You know what I mean? My diet doing X is going to be different to your diet doing X. So that's the answer, man. You know what I mean? But your diet has to be on point for you. And that might look different. You know what I mean? That might look different for someone who's training 5 hours a week. That might look different for someone who's training 10 hours a week. That might look different for someone who works a desk job and then goes to run after work. You know what I mean? So it's really indicative of the person, but it still has to be on the money to maximize. Obviously, there's a level where, like, it's just like you don't want to become some like spirulina sprinkling every single meal, quinoa eating. Like, there's a level where it's just like, dude, you've got enough now. Like, you don't need to keep eating broccoli all day. You know what I mean? Like, you've met your requirements. It's all good. You're maximizing what you need to. But it's different for everybody, man. No indie pack video yet, bro. It's gonna be a few months. Quinoa is good as fuck, man. I'm using it as a stereotype. Basically what I'm saying is, the type of person who's just like, you don't want to be. There's a level where it's just like, you don't need more fruits and vegetables, man. Like, it's okay. You can have a slice of bread. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who pretend to know. I try and, it's hard, bro. It's hard to humble yourself sometimes. And I always try and remind myself, that there's just shit you just don't know about. And it's okay, man, to not know about it. You know what I mean? It's okay, man. I'm not here to fucking act like I know shit I don't, man. I'm some cunt to do, though. Like... I pronounce it quinoa. Yeah, who knows what it is, eh? We pretend to, and our egos won't let us admit we don't know. Yeah, that's a very true statement, man. There's some stuff that you know. I mean, know is a strong word. Like, you 100% know, eh? You're just trying to make sense of what's happening, eh? That's all it is. You're just making sense of the situation. At least for me, eh? You're doing your best you can to interpret the experience that's happening or has happened. You know what I mean? So when people come at you like they know, like they're 100% fucking true, that comes from somewhere, you know what I mean? Harley's doing exactly what Joey said he would do after releasing his video. Just wanted to point that out. I mean, show it. I mean, we know the cycle now, brother. That's expected, man. That's expected, man. So shout outs to Joey Carbstrong, man. I got the missed call last night from him. Dude doesn't know I'm sleeping by 10 o'clock, man. Have I ever set foot in church? Yeah, when I was younger, I went to a school that made us go to church, but I just sat in church, man. You know what I mean? Dudes were dipping bread in wine, and I was sitting back saying, man, I can't be doing this. No, it doesn't really feel weird that 40. Well, you're not really random, brother. Like, I know a lot of you, man. So it's not really random, but it doesn't feel weird, man. I grew up on bread. Same here, brother. I used to eat so much bread, eh? I could never leave bread behind, man. You know what I mean? Dude, one day I woke up and thought I was gluten intolerant. It was like a nightmare. I was just thinking in my head, like, fuck, what am I going to do with my life now, man? You know what I mean? I did see that, dude, I've seen that, bro. And is that the one where the cunt kills the fish? Bro, I'm an Airbender fanboy, man. Are you talking about the one where he kills the fish and everything goes out of balance and shit? Or he steals the fish? The dude goes in the pond and steals the fish, everything goes out of balance? Yeah, bro. You know, that's mad self-talk, B. Johnson. I do it all the time, man. I was walking to the gym this morning, I had some fucking weird as fuck thought, and I just said to myself, I said, this is a weird fucking thought to have so early. Just keep walking to the gym, dude. Do you think social awkwardness is caused by overthinking or just being genetically predisposed to being awkward with others? I think it's just, you know, your ability to communicate with other people often, I feel like a lot of the times, is dictated by just your experience, dude. And I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it, brother. You know what I mean? I think it's just environmental a lot of the time. Like, cunts just stay secluded, man. And they don't really interact with other people except online. And then when they run into people, they can't even talk, man. So I think there's a lot of environmental things that bring on this level of social awkwardness. Can't say they have social anxiety. It's like, you know, the same. I've met some cunts who say they have social anxiety with this. They're also the same type of cunts to get me to deliver food 100 meters from their house, and then when they open the door, they hide behind the door and they won't even look me in the eye. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you should just walk down to the shops, smile at the girl, get the food, and walk home. But I do realize it's a big, you know, the thing is, man, anytime I've personally had anxiety about meeting a cunt or been anxious in a situation, I know anxiety killer. I know what anxiety killer is, bro. And it's just, you just do it. That's the anxiety killer. That's how you get the mallet and you chop the fucking head off the anxiety curve, man. You just do it regardless, bro. Like I've had times where I've been so nervous, man, and so anxious, and I just tell myself, like, man, it just is what it is. If I have to sit here and just be nervous and anxious while I talk to this cunt, well, then it's all good. And then as soon as I accept that, it just falls away. I end up having a mad 2-hour conversation with the cunt and just don't even remember talking about it. Do you know what I mean? So you never succumb to the fear, man. Like, you never let the anxiety get so much of a hold of you that it stops you in your tracks. You just remind yourself that if you have to be an anxious cunt, what's wrong with being an anxious cunt, brother? There's nothing wrong with it, man. If you have to sit there and you can't get out of your own head while you talk to me, it's cool. Like, who am I? I mean, ultimately, like, it doesn't even matter, man. Even if I thought you were an anxious cunt and I thought you're weird, it doesn't matter. Why should that affect you, brother? I mean, if you're all good, you're still all good, irregardless of what I think of you. You know? So just chill, man. And that's something I always remind myself. I'm like, fuck, man, what happens if this cunt... You know, I should be like, what happens if this cunt thinks I'm weird? Well, it's like, well, I know I'm not weird. So why the fuck would I care if this cunt thinks I'm weird? Even if I'm sitting there overthinking and stuttering, it doesn't matter. I mean, if that's how it's got to be, that's how it's got to be. Do you talk to customers on delivery? Yeah, brother. I do. I don't really talk to them. I mean, like, I drop off the food and I just, depending, you know, sometimes I say shit, I just say whatever comes to my head, or I just say, enjoy your food, man. I say, have a great day, enjoy your food. I just give them the blessings when I give them the food and say, have a great day, man. It feels good, brother. You know, now that you're doing the pizza thing, I mean, you probably do it too. You're just saying, enjoy your food, man. It just feels good, you know, like, you're just like, enjoy your food. You got to give thanks to them, mate, because ultimately their purchase is giving you money. So you're just like, thank you, you know? Bro, I've had $400 brand is expensive, right? But I've had some phenomenal, I got like a probably $200 blender at my mum's house, $250 on sale, right? And that's pretty expensive too. It's all relative, man. Like if that's gonna give you some you don't need that. But I mean, if you've got mad disposable income and you live for the blenders, well, yeah, I'm not gonna be the cunt to tell you not to get the blender, man. But I've definitely made some killer smoothies. The thing is, on some cheap blenders before, some cheap old school Chinese blenders, but you have to put in more work. Like you have to sit there and I used to get the blender at my old house and crush the ice and fucking, and then I go to my mum's house and be like, in 10 seconds to be done. Still tastes the same, man. Dude, the deliveries are the sickest jobs, man. You just always have to keep it in perspective, man, when you're doing it. Basically, dude, basically me and you, bro, we're pro athletes, if you think about it. Like I get paid to ride my bike, and the quicker I go, the more I get paid, man. They basically pay me to perform. You know what I mean? They pay me to perform, dude. Like I think about the money I can make on deliveries, and I'm like, fuck, man, I can't believe I haven't been doing this full time my whole life. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I can't believe I used to sit there and just like move plaster, even though that was sick. But like, you're like your own paid professional athlete boss when you do Uber. That's what you're doing, essentially, man. I'm like, if I want to chill, like sometimes I pull up to the lights and just shut my eyes and just think, like on Saturdays, dude, I just go sit right next to the Muslim preachers at the park and just think, I'm getting paid right now. I'm getting paid right now. I'm sitting next to the Muslim preachers at the park. The sun's out. There's dudes everywhere. There's girls everywhere. There's just vibes everywhere. This is amazing. And I always remind myself, like yesterday, I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. It was a tiring day for me. I felt like the fasting was getting to me, man. Did 50 Ks. Which isn't a lot, but after you've been fasting and you're dehydrated and you trained in the morning and you're tired, I was doing 50 Ks and I was like, oh, fuck, man, I feel washed up. But at the same time, I'm like, I feel washed up, but I'm a pro athlete. What kind of cash are you making on delivery? You don't make much. It depends, man. It really depends. Like sometimes the algorithm gets you, man, but sometimes you do good. Like sometimes I've done deliveries, like I done a delivery once from my old house to Jess's old house, which is literally probably 200 meters away. Like I didn't even pedal. It's like $7. You know what I mean? Like maybe $5 US. And then I've done long ones before and got paid like $6. So it usually lays between like, on the real low end, it will lay between like $6, $5.50, and like if you go pretty far, it might be like $9. And if you're doing them consistently, if it's busy, you might do 4 an hour. You might do 3 or 4 an hour. I mean, sometimes like lately, man, you just get you keep binging, man. So like in 4 hours, I might do 16 in 4 hours. You might cop $115 in 4 hours, which is sick, man. Because I only hold myself to do 4 or 5 hours a day. But I do it 7 days a week, you know what I mean? So I do 7 days a week at that. You're living like a king, man. It shouldn't be this way, eh? They never told me that I'd live like a king being a pro athlete when I was in high school. I think I'm just in the mindset that I'm being overanalyzed through a microscope at times. Legit. It's the worst feeling ever. I'm jealous of people who can publicly speak like bosses. Yeah, brother. I mean, you should never be ashamed of the way you think, man. That's key, man. You know what I mean? Never be ashamed of the way you think, bro. Overthinking's a blessing, man. Like if some cunt said to me, like, would you rather be switched on to the point where you can't stop thinking, or would you rather just be a mindless drone who never even question their own self, man? Even at times you feel like it's too much. It's always a blessing, man. Especially if you can learn to tame it. So, oftentimes, bro, you just have to accept the situation and just say, like, I'm an overthinking cunt. It's okay. Don't even use the word overthinking, bro. You're just like, you're just on like full volume, bro. The gain's turned up hardcore. And that's okay, man. It's useful. I'm telling you, it's useful, bro. If you don't let it overwhelm you, man, it's useful, So I'm sure in like 5 years you'll look back on this time and say, look, I'm so happy that I thought about a lot of shit. And what are you gonna be jealous of? Why don't use the word. You can't be jealous of other dudes, man. Jealousy is just gonna fill your heart up with a pile of black shit, man. Don't be jealous of anyone, man. they're a part of your world, brother. Not the other way around, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've had a couple flat tires when I've been delivering, man. They're a cunt, eh? Because it's just like, it's just annoying to have to change the flat tire. I don't even have a tire with me, man, so I walk home and then it fucks up the feng shui of the day. But I mean, it is what it is. It's life, man. I make sure I run really low PSI when I do deliveries because you're jumping up curbs and doing all sorts of shit. So I run like 70 PSI, even though I'm heavily obese at the moment. 70 PSI is where it's at. What is the meaning of life? I mean, it's a backwards question. And, you know, the meaning of life to me is to experience. There is no, how am I mentioning, what is the meaning of life, brother? You know what I mean? That's the question that's on the top of your tongue that gets answered when you die. You know what I mean? It's on the tip of your tongue, and I have a feeling, bro. Firmly have a feeling that I've always known there's more to it. I've always known, I'm shouts to everyone who's had this feeling, that you always have this feeling lurking. I've always had this feeling lurking, like there's more to this shit, man. You know what I mean? There's more to it, brother. Like, am I the only cunt who takes a piss and thinks like, this is wild, I'm taking a piss right now, and I'm living in my own world? And like, if I look at Nate's living in his own world, and he's the center of it, and I'm the center of my world, and we're all living out a different experience. Am I the only cunt who thinks that's bizarre? So I've always had a feeling that there's something on the tip of my tongue. You know when some cunt says, oh, well, who's that actor? And you're like, I know it, but I can't say it. I feel like I know it, but I can't say it. And I feel like the day I cross over to the other side is the day that I'm going to be like, and say, holy fuck, it was that the whole time. You know what I mean, brother? So, you know, I just try and keep my feet firmly planted underneath me and tell myself, like, you know, you're here to be a student, you're here to be appreciative, you're here to make the most of your time here. You know what I mean? You're here to experience, you know what I mean? That's ultimately what you're here for, man. That's what I tell myself, like, you're here to experience shit, so experience shit. You know, with other people, with yourself, with your family, with your friends, and learn. You know what I mean? Almost like you want to fucking transcend this shit, dude. Like, you want to learn as much as you can while you're here. And you don't want to cross over to the other side and be like, fuck, man, I really only got to level 2. Like, you want to get to level 55 out of 55. Right now, I'm about close to 220, man. Looking to shout out to Sacred Geometry, brother. I got mates who stare into Sacred Geometry, man. I've had cunts lose their mind staring into Sacred Geometry, dude, for hours, man. I don't watch Rich Piana, eh? Dude, I do it all the time, man. It's called star fucking gazing. You know, like I was doing that every night in the indie pack. Me and my girlfriend would just stop the car and we'd pull over and I'd have a bit of a nap and I'd look out in the stars and just think, this shit's fucking wild, man. You have to get in awe of the star and just be like, this is wild, man. Like, if one day some cunt said to me, man, like, you can go up there, I'd be on the bus, man. I'd be on the plane, I'll tell you that. Yeah. You told me you look in the mirror and then reality hits you like you're a real person. It does, man. True. 100%, man. I do it all the time. It's a powerful thing, man. Catching your reflection's a powerful thing, man. Sometimes, and not for the ego-filled fuckboy who's always staring in the mirror, but when you kind of try and leave that behind, you know, sometimes you catch yourself in the mirror and you go, holy fuck. That's, you're like, I'm staring at myself, eh? Like, what the fuck, man? How much of an upbringing, in fact, of being a shit cunt or not? I think it's heaps to do with your upbringing, man. I think no one can deny that you're a product of your environment. Does that mean that you have to be a victim of it? No, but oftentimes you're a product of it, man. And some cunts come from some seriously fucked up environments, man. You know, but there's equal sides to each coin, man. As everyone says, like, you don't have to be a victim of your environment. You know what I mean? That's the key, man. You don't have to be a victim of it. There's plenty of people out there, man, who are walking examples of them not being victims of their environment, you know. But environment has a huge factor on how, you know, like, everything, man. Just the words you grow up with, you know. It's when you're young, man. When you're young and you're getting a bit, you know, they're key ages, man. You know, they're key ages. You're young, you're innocent. The world hasn't, you know, you haven't been indoctrinated yet. You slowly start to get indoctrinated. You know, so that time you're spending with family and friends at home and what people are telling you and the way you're getting brought up and what you see and the experiences you have, they're really powerful, and that's really the setup, man. That's really the setup, you know, for, you know, your later years. I mean, when you move on, you know, when you're a bit older. As far as confidence is concerned, do you think I should think of myself as better than others, or should I think myself as an individual going through life? You should never think that you're better than other people, brother, man. That's an endless chase, man. Because there's plenty of people you can sit there and think I'm better than them. There's always going to be another person that there's always going to be, the thing is, you can't ever do that, bro, because there's always going to be a cunt better than you, man. That's just straight up. There's always going to be a cunt better than you. And you have to accept that, man. If you want to be good at, like, you know, like, you can want to be the sickest fucking, I don't know, drum player, but there's always going to be, very rarely there's not going to be someone better than you, brother. So it's an endless chase, man. It's a one-way ticket to the hamster wheel of just like, I'm not good enough, let's keep chasing the white rabbit. That's what it is, man. You know, so, you know, you will find more peace, brother, if you just try and maximize your own experience and enjoy it and just be the best you, man. Just be the best you, brother. It's just, that doesn't mean you're complacent. You know, it doesn't mean you can't be competitive. But if you are going to be competitive, make sure you're a competitive person with you. You know what I mean? That's your competitor, man. You just want to be the best you, man. You're competitive with the fact that it's one big race, man, and you're trying to come out as good as you can at the end of it. You're trying to get the highest position for yourself, man. What's it going to do to walk? Confidence, concern, nah, brother. I mean, real confidence that will sit with you. Real confidence, bro, that will sit with you can't be dictated by other people, man. That's not real confidence, brother. That's just some fake ego shit. Real confidence that will sit with you comes from a deep spot, man, inside of yourself, eh? You know? Bro, there's heaps of practical ways you can become you can improve your own self-confidence, man. It's not some arbitrary fucking mystical fucking Gandhi type shit that, you know, you have to sit under the fucking tree and meditate for hours, brother. You know, oftentimes I know that the lack of confidence comes in from lack of action, man. The less you act, the more unconfident you become, man. You have to always, when you're presented with the opportunity and you have the opportunity, you always have to take that opportunity, brother. And it's done on a micro scale, man. I'm seriously talking about, like, when you have the thought to go up the stairs and you go up the escalator, that's one step. That's a one-way ticket backwards, man. Not a one-way ticket forwards. When you're fucking like, hey, I should go for a bike ride, and you don't go on the bike ride, that's a one-way ticket backwards, brother. You know what I mean? So it's just a series of choices, man, that have led you to this mindset that you're at right now. And that's it. But that's empowering, bro, because you didn't just wake up like this, brother. It's been a journey to get here. And it can be a journey out of here, man. It's not a permanent location, man. You know what I mean? Australians love Bali, man. Well, they love to fuck up Bali. It probably is like the Ibiza of the UK, man. There are stories of those who believe to be resurrected and remember their past lives. Our energy of who are persons cannot be destroyed, no matter in our bodies die or destroyed. Shouts to you, brother, man. You know, I wouldn't be surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised. Real confidence knowing that no one can take it from you, eh? Shouts to you, man. How do I master true confidence then, man? I mean, honestly, man, I don't even know what the fuck true confidence means, man. But I'm just saying, brother, like this level of self-doubt's coming from your lack of actually doing shit. I mean, it might come from that. I'm not saying it is for you, but I'm saying it might. So just do more shit, man. You're talking about being socially anxious, or just fucking talk to people, bro. Go train, man. Sniff the fresh air, you know what I mean? Like, there's probably a million fucking, like, meditation, yeah, cool, bro, but oftentimes you look at the top of the ladder and you realize there's a million steps before, like, there's a million things you can fucking do already that are going to improve your mindset. You know what I mean? Shouts to you, like, Luke Bright, 100% agree with you, brother. But that's probably just your perspective on the situation, man. You know, that's obviously the way you've thought about it. Alyssa, beautiful to see you. I got no idea, brother. Maybe your hard drive, the permissions on it. You have to check the permissions on it, brother. I'm not a fan of plastic surgery, brother, just because I feel like it's just like, you know, what drives a person to get plastic surgery unless you're like, you've been fucked up in a car accident or you're doing some reconstructive shit that needs to be done. Like, I just hate seeing girls get their lips done. I hate seeing dudes get plastic surgery. It hurts me, man. I'm like, bro, come on. Like, what makes you want to do that, man? Like, I just want to pat cunts on the back and be like, there's no need to get your lips done. There really is no need. You know, like, you're never going to be beautiful enough. Seriously, this isn't the answer. I'm a fan of any athlete, bro. I'm a fan of triathlete, mono athlete, dual athlete. I'm a fan of all of them, dude. You know, I think it's crazy in a good way. Just made the best of it. My mum's bad. Shout out to you, brother, too, man. I mean, that's mad. You know what I mean? Is it better to have, you know, like, the thing is, bro, for some situations, it's not even worth thinking about it, whether it be better or not. You know what I mean? Because you've obviously made it a positive thing, man. So it's cool. Tom, thoughts on people who have YouTube channels and claim they help all sorts of people better their lives, but really they sledge everyone and cannot name one person who's been friends with them for more than 5 years. I mean, they're fuckboys, man, eh? I feel sorry for the cunts, man. I really feel sorry for them, eh? Because, you know, it's sad to think that you're watching your brother do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they're doing, man. And as much as, like, in my head I'm like, this cunt's a fuckboy, you know, like, you have to empathize with the fact that he's got to live with the dude who's doing this shit has to live with himself. Like, what's that got to feel like? That would feel terrible, man. And I don't want to wish that on anybody, but at the same time, man, some people just never learn, bro. Some people just never learn. Yeah, it can't be WA. Shouts to the Beetlejuice, brother. Why do you think it's socially acceptable for women to get boob jobs but steroids for men are not? You're asking a correct question, man. It's backwards why that is. I mean, steroids are always demonized, boob jobs are accepted. I mean, heavily marketed through media, and that's just over time, you know, I mean, the stereotype gets further perpetuated, and that just becomes what it is, man. That's how it becomes a stereotype, you know. So not stereotype. I mean, it further becomes acceptable. You know what I mean? Once enough people do it, and enough people, it's not frowned upon anymore, then it becomes acceptable. You know. There's plenty. Steroids kill your liver and are illegal. I mean, people die from boob jobs, brother. People get fucked. I don't know if they die from boob jobs, but people get some fucked up shit happen from boob jobs, man. Don't say Harley's name 3 times and it'll appear. Yeah, that motherfucker will come out of nowhere, man. You know, why can you drink alcohol but you can't smoke weed? You know, it's the same question, man. it's not really the same comparison, but there's all sorts of fucked up comparisons that we do some crazy shit, and just because the majority condone it normal doesn't mean it is normal. You know what I mean? Just because it's acceptable doesn't mean it's normal. Don't say you said it 3 times, brother. We're fucked now. You fucking pushed it, Deadpool, lad. You pushed it, man. There's no... We're getting some interesting shit with this search alcohol, man. I reckon they're overconfident. Yeah, overconfidence, I mean, you can tell when a brother's trying to be overconfident, man. You know? Abdullah, shouts to you. Let me know if this cunt's rolling up behind me, eh? You want to keep it natural, man. You want to keep it raw, man. You want to keep it raw as possible. You know what I mean? As raw as possible. Like, I couldn't, bro, to be honest with you, man, like, I see dudes with their, like, girlfriends, man. And the same thing goes with guys. I'm sure girls do it to guys, too. It's just toxic, dude. Like, I see some dudes with their girls. I'm thinking in my head, like, what do you tell your girlfriend, brother? Like, you're okay. Like, I would not be okay with my girlfriend getting mad boob jobs and fucking lip jobs and shit. You know what I mean? Like, just hug her, dude. Tell her she's good enough. She doesn't need to do this shit. You know, like, you want to calibrate everything on a raw format. I want everything raw, man. Just the way it is. You know, I want oatmeal to taste. I only want 2 products in my oatmeal. That's as raw as I want to keep it, you know. I want my girl to be raw. I want my life to just be raw, man. The area is back, eh? Yeah, it's trending in the UK, eh? It is trending in the UK. I'm not a fan, man. To be honest with you, I'm not a fan. Just straight up. That's my statement. I'm not a fan. I've met heaps of fitness YouTubers. 90% of them are fuckboys. I'm only saying that now. I'm only saying that, man, because, you know, people live in this fairy tale world where they just vicariously live through a bunch of people who don't even live like that. They're in the exact same position as you. That's what people don't get, man. You know, like, you suffer from a lack of fucking acceptance. This cunt suffers from the same lack of acceptance. He just wants to be accepted, eh? You drive, you know, I used to drive my Nissan Pulsar in 1984 and think, like, fuck, you know, one day I'm gonna be a fitness YouTuber just like these cunts, like, everyone's gonna love me, like. Then I met one of them, I said, mate, you're doing the exact same thing, but your car's just $20,000 more expensive than mine. But we're still thinking the same shit, dude. So you gotta realize, 90% of the time there's a big gap in transparency, dude. A big gap between what's actually going on and what is going on, you know? So just keep that in mind, man, before, not you, but just people gotta keep that in mind before they start, you know, wanting, like, living, thinking, like, if I become Casey Neistat, if I become this cunt, like, my life's just gonna be revolutionized. Your life's already revolutionary, dude. It might be if you actually stop to appreciate it. Mate, I mean, that's a fantastic. It's like, how many times do I meet, you know, I don't really even meet these YouTubers often, brother. You know what I mean? You know, I met Guzman once. That's before I was even aware he was who he really was. I hanged out with Matt Ogus for a while. Matt Ogus is a good dude. I mean, you can say some shit about what he does. Sometimes it's a bit suspect, but he is a good dude. You know, and he's been, you know, he is a good dude. All I can say here is respect, man. You know, I'll never forget, man. Matt Ogus has probably had one of the biggest impacts on the fitness community, man. He honestly, man, I think he should be more like he's an icon, man. Like in terms of not just being successful, like he's actually an icon in terms of what he's provided. You know, you might whether or not you like what he's doing, whether or not like what he's doing now, it's irregardless, man. The cunt has provided a lot for the community, man, and I'll never forget that. Do I have a mentor type? You know, I think having a single mentor. I mean, it's, you know, I learn off a lot of people, brother, and I make sure, you know. I mean, a singular mentor, no, you know what I mean. But I'm always learning off people, man, and just off the situation in general. You know what I mean. I got mates, I learn off them. You know, like my mum's a mentor, my girlfriend's a mentor. You know, the universe is the mentor. You know what I mean? The people I deliver to are mentors. You guys, you know, there's lessons everywhere, brother. There's lessons everywhere, man. You know, and you know, that's how I like to keep it, man. My grandma was a massive mentor. I tell you what, I'm gonna be like Bruce fucking Wayne riding the flower to the graveyard the day after Ramadan, man. That's what's gonna be happening. I'm gonna be like Bruce fucking Wayne riding the flower to the graveyard. Yeah. I mean, the mentor is all around you, man. It's always been there. It's always around you. You know what I mean? It's just whether or not you're willing to see it. That's the big thing, man. I don't watch pranks on YouTube, man. I mean, maybe a while ago when they went gone viral, I'd watch a couple of them, but yeah. I mean, I think the prank thing's died, man. I don't think people care anymore. I love the look on your face when you talk about my grandma. Yeah, my grandma was a gem, brother. My grandma was a gem, dude. And grandmas are just mad. You know what I mean? And I know that there's probably so many people out there who have great grandmas. And I light up when people tell me about their grandma. Or because I just know how powerful a great grandmother can be. You know, I've got a grandma who's not so powerful, who wasn't so powerful, and I got one who was just the epitome of life, man. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just cool, man. And yeah, I mean, that's a bit of a bizarre grandma, you know. But some people have bad grandmas too, brother. Yeah. So like that's true, man. Some grandmas, you know. Imagine what you're gonna be like if you become a grandpa, brother. I'm sure, you know, it might even get worse, man. Like 5 generations from now, I mean, there might be less of an appreciation for life. You know. But yeah, I definitely know what you mean, brother. You know, I just shout out to my grandma, man. She's probably like a lot of your grandmas, the type of girl to fucking, you know, just trying to just constantly be beating you with the life lessons, man. Just constantly. You know, like just drinking tea, you get a life lesson. You're eating a sandwich, you get a life lesson. You make a mess, you're getting a life lesson. You're going out, you know, like just constant life lessons, man. You know, it's just crazy, eh? In a good way. I mean, assisted living homes, I'd probably be pissed off if I was in an assisted living home, you know. No offense to anyone who has their family in an assisted living home. But, you know, personally, I'd probably be pretty pissed off, man. Lombard, it's great, brother. What about yourself, mate? Should assisted suicide be legal? You mean for like old people who are going to die anyway? I don't think it's hard, man, because like there's some situations, man, where I mean, who is very hard, man. It's very hard, you know. Like who has the power to take a life, man? Who has that authority, man? Other than the universal God, whoever you want to believe in, no one has the authority to take a life, man. That's where it becomes hard. You know what I mean? But it's a fucked up system, man. It's definitely a fucked up system. Like they won't. It's weird, man, because then they won't necessarily kill you, and they won't like they'll prolong your life to a point where it's just like I've seen this firsthand, where it's just like it's just weird, man. Like you go to the hospital and you just see like these just like people whose lives have just been extended to the point where it's just like this, and they're in such pain, man. They're in such pain, man. And they're addicted to all sorts of shit, man. You see cunts in there. My grandma, man, my grandma used to my grandma was the type of girl, man, before she died, right? Was the type of girl that was like really fucking ill, man. Like, I mean, like really getting distraught. Like, couldn't stand full-time care. You know, my uncle would be full-time carer for her. Like, you know, real, like, enter this world as a kid, leave the world as a kid. Like, you need to be cared for 24/7. Really incapable of doing stuff by the end of it. It was sad to see, man, you know what I mean? But she was also just through constant, I don't know, visits to the hospital and doctors and stuff. She was also the type of girl to punch the wall at 4 a.m. calling you calling you a cold-hearted fuck because you won't give her endone, but you gave her endone an hour before. You know what I mean, brother? Like, hooked. And then I started to realize when you go to hospital, there's just so many cunts who they're just like drug addicts, man. They're just all hooked on it, man. It was about so much suffering, man, so much suffering. There was a moment when I looked at my grandma when she died. I remember, dude, it was tragic. I remember my uncle called me, right? My uncle called me and I was on the way to the hospital. My mum was freaking out, bro. It's almost, it's crazy to see, man, because it's something I think you'd have to experience with your own parent. Like, we got this call, and I knew straight away my grandma had died, right? And my mum was trying to tell me that she didn't die, and I was thinking in my head, like, man, she's dead, man. But I'm not going to say anything, we'll get to the hospital. I just thought in my head, I just had a feeling. And it was just the most powerful moment, dude, because I remember looking at her body when she was dead, just laying there. And I felt this overwhelming sense of just like peacefulness, man. Like the energy had left the room and it's gone to a higher place. You know what I mean? Like I just looked at the body and said, you're not there no more. Like you look like you're sleeping, but you're not there no more. Like you've gone to a better place now. It was just beautiful, man. It was one of the most weirdly beautiful moments, man. It was even more beautiful burying her, but that was also beautiful. And it was just like, I'll never forget it, man. There's nothing like being 6 foot under the floor, man, holding a body and putting it down in the ground. You know what I mean? Like you feel like, I talk about the cycle of life. That's an opportunity, man. And I'll never forget the opportunity, brother. It was amazing. Bresky, what do you mean harden the fuck up, embrace the pain? Is that coming from what do you mean embrace the pain, brother? Fill us in, brother. Fill us in, talk about it. Don't be dropping hardcore comments, harden the fuck up, embrace the pain if you're not going to talk about it. Yeah, bro. My great aunt told my mate to shut the fuck up once, but she was the only one who helped me spill my squat rack on Christmas. So some people just say shit. Is the stream cutting out? Or everyone leaving? Fill me in. Keep. Harley is killed. Are we back? Tell me when we're back. Tell me when we're back. Yo, mic check. Stream keeps lagging. You have to tell me when it's back up, brother. It should be good, man. It should be good, eh? I don't know what I'm paying for this 4G, man. It's not fucking... Shout out to you, James Lombard. We'll meet one day, brother. If the sky permits it, man, we'll meet. I think we're back now, eh? Bretsky, you still there, brother? That comment triggered me, man. Harden the fuck up, embrace the pain. That was a triggering comment, brother. Mavs 55, it's great. Alright, we're back in full effect now. Good here, yeah, we're back. Yeah, stream was going crazy, yeah. Sometimes we get too in it, man. It breaks the fiber optic cable. Might be horrible to say, but I had more sorrow when my grandma died than my mum died. Hey, no, that's not. I don't think that's horrible. I don't think it's horrible to say. Who would I be to judge you on your connection with another person like that? You know what I mean? Like, what? Just because the world says you got to feel more sorry for her, you can't feel more sorry for your grandma? No, it's just your relationship with that person, brother. You know, the government's always trying to shut us down, man. They're trying to take me out of here in a Hessian sack. We won't let it happen. We won't let it happen, man. I don't even know if we're still here, man. Good conversation is like food and water. It is, man. It's fuel. Good conversation is like fuel. You know, I had the maddest food last night, man. I had dumplings, I had rice. It was just going off, man. It was just like, I was eating this rice just thinking like, fuck, man. You know, this rice, it was just the most like steamy, sticky beauty. Yeah, Alpha AMA, that's straight up, man. You know, like, it's pretty cool, man. You get to live with your grandma, dude. I think that's sick as fuck. And you get to look after her. And, you know, you're watching the cycle of life, dude, currently take place in front of you. You know, so it's a blessing, man. Even if, you know, like, you and your grandma became, like, fighting friends and, like, whatever, man, you're still getting to witness the cycle of life and be there. You know, it's pretty powerful when you think about being there in someone's last moments. It's pretty powerful, dude. Yeah, call your grandmother, bro. Make sure you call your grandma, man. We're pro-grandma. This is a pro-grandma stream, man. You got the pang, man. You got the hunger, you got grandma pang, hey, just the feeling in your stomach like, fuck, I need a cola, man. Relieve the pang, brother, relieve the pang via text or call. I miss your old intro and outro and vids, hey, why did I stop them? You know, I don't know. It's not like I just woke up one day and said I'm going to stop doing this outro. I mean, sometimes I still do it, but I mean, it is what it is. That's why I stopped, it is what it is. Call all the grandmas, man. Grandmas are just beautiful, man. You know what I mean? Like, they're just, the sum of the souls and some grandmas are just money. You know, like, I've had grandmas come up in the supermarket before when I've been talking to my sister and be like, you know, I remember this one grandma came up to me once, just melted my heart out. I was in the supermarket with my sister and she came up to us and she's like,
it's just so beautiful. She said it, she was with white grandma. She was like, it's so beautiful to see you two. You two having such a great time. And I was just like, fuck, man, you're just a beautiful grandma. I want to kiss you. Did a triathlon with a cracked rib. Never felt more alive. I mean, that could be, I mean, a triathlon with a cracked rib is different to terminally ill, about to die. You know what I mean, brother? They're few and far between. There's a big gap between that. I think plenty of cunts have done some crazy shit with a cracked rib. Yeah, I'm outside. Why are you saying it 3 times? Don't be saying it 3 times. I saved a den of baby rabbits from a lawnmower. Made me feel alive, eh? Shouts, are you feeling alive? Temporary pain makes you stronger, terminal pain not so much. 100%, man. Well, yeah, I mean, temporary pain can, it just depends, man. You know, pain can be, it's like a tool. I mean, sometimes it can make you stronger, sometimes shit's just stupid. Like, if you were like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna crack my rib, do a triathlon, and then fuck up my breathing for 6 months, or fuck up, I'll tell you that's not wise. You know what I mean? But I mean, some instances, you know, the pain's good, man. '94 and '91, wow, that's old. Why can't science explain dreams? You know, I don't know, man. But, you know, I'm trying to dream. I try and dream frequently. Had a headache and couldn't sleep for 3 days once. Changed the value. Sleeping's amazing, man. You know, it's you know, it's weird. You know, like sometimes I used to think about being an insomniac and think like, you know, I was fortunate enough to lose the ability to sleep, so I could relearn the ability to sleep, and now I value sleep. You know. Sleeping and dreams are mysterious. I think they're so powerful, man. I think dreaming's so powerful. You know what I mean? I think it should be taught in school. You know, like dude, I would have a lucid dreaming top class at school, and I'd be teaching cunts. Like I would make it a mission at school to have a lucid dreaming semester where like we all tried to get lucid. You know what I mean? Like, and people would keep dream diaries and go lucid and shit. Powerful, man, eh? Dreams are subconscious, turning conscious thoughts, ideas, and memories into a randomized way. Otherwise, our brains filled with neurotoxins. We can't take reality well from the subconscious. Hey, I'm not even sure what fuck. I mean, that's a great response. You know, I'm not even sure what happens, brother. I sleep a lot but never feel rested. I can't figure out why. You got to work out why, man. I'm not even sure. but we only remember them and can only really lucid dream when we wake up after. I can't lucid dream because I get too aware of the fact that I'm dreaming. It wakes me up, Every time I lucid dream, bro, I try and remain calm. I remain calm. You know, like, it always hits me that I'm dreaming, bro. You know, it hits me that I'm dreaming when I'm there, and I tell myself, I don't think about it beyond that, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I remember the first few times I lucid dream, dude, I got hell hyped. Like, I'm fucking dreaming. This is sick. You know what I mean? Like this feels amazing. You know what I mean? Because you know when you lucid dream, you get this like really weird sensation. You feel this sensation in your body. It's just an unbelievable sensation. You know, I just think it's just you have to remain calm, man. I usually just take off, man. Like, I usually just go for a fly. I know it sounds weird, but I usually just fly, and then just start looking around, and then try and think about shit. Like, last night I went to bed at 9, woke up at 2:30. Yeah. I tell you what, dude, I felt when you know what's crazy? There's a link. I was telling my mate the other day, I was telling my mate last night I had dumplings. I said to him, the feeling I have when I fly in lucid dreams, the feeling I've had when I go for a fly in a lucid dream, I've had that feeling before, brother. Like, this feeling of like tingling, vibrating, this weird sensation all over your body. I've had that feeling before, dude. And it's the same feeling I get when I'm flying in a lucid dream. And it makes me think, man, it's like, what is bringing on this feeling? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's wild. I think there's something to it, man. There's something to it, dude. Something's getting released in your brain, your mind, your soul's gone somewhere else. I'm not even sure, dude. Because I've had the feeling before, and it's crazy. Lucid dreaming's, bro, when you wake up in it, like, you're aware that you're dreaming. You know what I mean? You become aware of it. It'd be like you dreaming, and then in the dream suddenly you go, it'd be like you in your dream, right? And then you suddenly would go like, fuck, I'm sleeping right now, but I'm dreaming. You know what I mean? And then you can walk around and control, you can do shit, you know what I mean? I think it happens a lot when you're a kid, brother, but then I think slowly you get blocked. I think it's a blocked up issue, man. Honestly, personally, I believe it's a blocked up issue. I feel like if you, later on, I feel like to do it, you have to try and tune in. There's a frequency you got to tune into to be able to use that power. Because I actually think it's like a power, that you can unlock. You know, and it's hard to unlock frequently, but I feel like it's a power. And I've noticed that the more unblocked I become, I feel like I'm better. I can enter it easier, and I can bring it on more. And I think that's super powerful, man, because there's nothing like going to bed thinking I'm about to have a wild fucking experience, you know? Can you force it? I mean, yeah, there is ways you can force it. I mean, you can bring it on, I should say. You can bring it on. There is ways, man. I usually just do some weird, like, not really weird, just some meditating, a bit of like, seems like meditation. Focus. I try and focus on my body. I try and focus on the energy in my body. You know, there's a few steps in it. You should give it a crack, brother. Give it a crack, man. You know, it might. The thing is, if you're gonna try, bro, the thing is, you can't give up. You know what I mean? Like, because if you can't give up, you got to keep trying. You know, if you actually really want to experience it, you never had it before. Tony, I miss you too, brother. You got to give it a crack, and you can't just give up one night after you've put in hell effort and it just fucking didn't work. You know, like, because sometimes, I mean, it doesn't work, man. It is what it is, man.
Anyway, people, it's been a fucking great stream, man. Day 18 of destroying the data. I guess I'll see you tomorrow, mate. Shouts to all of you. Shouts to the stream. Shouts to the chat. Tony, you know it's always good to see you, Tony. It's always a fucking pleasure, man.